Bienvenidos, soy Ana de Aprende con Flowers. Hoy vamos a aprender palabras de comunicación. Today we're going to learn words for communication. Some of these words you might already know. We went over some of the phrases as well before, but these are going to be words that you will most likely use all the time, every day, at least once a day, if not several times a day. Okay? The first one is gracias. So, gracias por estar aquí conmigo. Thank you for being here with me. Gracias is used at the end of a lot of phrases, so no thank you, no gracias. Ya comí, gracias. I already ate, thank you. So, gracias, thank you. After someone says gracias, the polite thing to do is follow up with a you're welcome, right? So, de nada. You're welcome. You can also say por nada. I've heard that several times. I stick the de nada or está bien, like that's okay. De nada and por nada and with nada meaning nothing. So when you hear de nada, you're used to hearing that. So, but that means of nothing, right? And then por nada means for nothing. So the first time you hear por nada, don't get offended. It does not mean like for nothing. I mean, it depends on intonation, right? So if you give something to someone and it's not really what they wanted, you can, or they seem ungrateful or something. I don't know. Don't know really how to be rude. Not on purpose anyways. Sometimes it just slips out. But if someone really wants to be rude, they can say por nada, like for nothing. Gracias por nada. Thank you for nothing. They can say things like that. I don't really come across rudeness in Spanish, but I also don't come across it in English too. If you get a lot of rude things said to you, look at your company, okay? Por favor, suscríbense. Please subscribe. Por favor means please. So when you want someone to do you a favor, you can say por favor, please. Yeah. I've come across a lot of Caribbean people. It might not just be just them, but in my experience, it's a lot of Caribbean people that says porfa. Also, Mexicans do that too. They say porfa, porfa, wey, hazme esto. Please, man, do this for me. Yeah, so porfa. That's a slang version of saying por favor, but if you want to be polite and proper, you say por favor. Don't say porfa. But if we're hanging out, I'm going to use porfa. So just think of me as like a friend when we hang out. I mean, unless you don't want me to be, then I'll use por favor. Maybe the first time I meet you, I'll say por favor. But then afterwards, I'll be like, porfa, please. Okay? So there are many ways to say excuse me in Spanish. The most proper, most neutral ground is con permiso, with permission. So if you are trying to leave a meeting and you want to be like, oh, excuse me, you can be like, oh, con permiso. Or if you bump into someone, you say, ay, con permiso, with permission. That's the direct translation, but it means excuse me. There's other ways to say too, like how we talked about formal and informal with greetings. There's also formal and informal with like excuse me. So you can say disculpa, disculpa, ¿me ayudas a limpiar mi casa? Excuse me, can you help me clean my house? That's something you wouldn't ask a stranger to do, right? You would ask like your friends to do that, right? You can also say, well, if you're dealing with strangers, right, then you would say disculpe, ¿qué hora es? Like if you're out on the street and you're wandering a boots. I'm from Minnesota and we do not say a boot. People think we do. That's those Canadians, okay? But I like to make fun of the way we say that. So, but if you're walking about and you want to ask someone, what time is it, right? You don't want to be like, disculpa, because they're not familiar with you. I mean, unless you're in a small town and everyone's your neighbor, so then, yeah, go ahead and say disculpa. But if it's a stranger you haven't met before, you have no premise to know them or whatever, you can say, ay, disculpe, ¿qué hora es? Excuse me, what time is it? Right? Okay. There's also ways to say help. You're gonna need to know this because eventually, like if you're getting chased by someone, or if someone's getting hurt and you want to ask for help, or I'm giving you dramatic scenarios, but it might just be something as simple as, oh, my foot hurt, cramped, or I twisted my ankle, right? You can say, ayúdenme, ayúdenme, means help me, right? So you can also say, auxilio. You can also say socorro. Socorro is also a name of many women. So I met a girl, her name was Socorro, and so I'd be like, Socorro! And it's funny because it also means help, but it was also her name, and so it got old pretty quick, but it was fun for me, but she was already used to everybody doing that, so ayúdenme. You can also say ayúdame. That's not as formal. You can say ayúdame a limpiar mi casa. Help me to clean my house. Ayuda is more of an informal way, so you're not going to use that if you're on the street. You're going to say ayuden, because that implies multiple people, mostly, yeah. So ayúdenme, auxilio, socorro, all ways to say help me. ¿Me ayudas? Can you help me? So if you're like at a store, right, and you want the person there to help you, can say, ¿Me ayudas, por favor? Por favor, right? See, I'm teaching you all these good phrases you can just smash together. But, ¿Me ayudas, por favor? Can you help me, please? And then you say, necesito ayuda. I need help. And you can also add, por favor. So, necesito ayuda, por favor. I need help, please. Then you can also say, well, we already covered ayúdame, right? So ayúdame is more like on a one-on-one level with someone. One-on-one with someone that you're not, ayúdame. ¿Te puedo ayudar en algo? Can I help you with something? This is what you're going to use if like you're that person at the store, right? And you see someone who looks confused, looks like they might need help. They don't want to ask you, ¿Me ayudas? So you take the initiative and you be like, ¿Te puedo ayudar en algo? Can I help you with something? And they'll be like, ay, gracias. Oh, thank you. Necesito ayuda. I need help con whatever. Okay? Now we have lo siento. Lo siento. I'm sorry. There isn't a lo sienta for female, right? You use lo siento, all genders, all pluralities, singularities, they're all lo siento. So if you're speaking to a group of people, lo siento, because you're talking about yourself. You're a singular person. You can also say perdón, perdón, sorry. That's more, I would say that's more of a formal way of saying sorry. Like if you bump into someone, like instead of saying con permiso or disculpe, you can say perdón, like sorry. And you would use that more with strangers. You can also ask for forgiveness and say perdóname. So like if you're a religious person and you're praying, say forgive me, oh Father God. You can say perdóname, oh Padre Dios. Okay? So that's ways to say sorry and ask for forgiveness. Hablas inglés. As we know, there are formal and informal ways of saying it. So habla inglés is like a way that's, well, you would want to say habla inglés usted. right? So do you speak English if you're talking to someone? But if you've already made direct eye contact with them, you say, habla inglés. But if it's like someone that's on your level and you want to be a little informal about it, you can be like, hablas inglés? Okay? And then they could respond with, no hablo inglés. I don't speak English. Okay? No entiendo. No entiendo lo que estás diciendo. No entiendo nada. No entiendo. I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand anything. Okay? So, no entiendo. I don't understand. Some people like to say, no comprende. That's not right. It's very, very touristy, Englishy. I mean, I guess other people would say comprende, but I'm in America, so I deal with English. But yeah, no entiendo. I don't understand. Okay? No sé. I don't know. You can also say I don't know that, which is no lo sé. Or, okay? So, no sé, no lo sé. All works for I don't know. ¿Cómo se dice? And then you put whatever you want to know how to say, and then whatever language you're trying to say. So in inglés, or español, or francés, or árabe, whatever language you're trying to translate it to. But ¿cómo se dice means how do you say, and then you put the word in, and then in, and then whatever language, okay? Other words that you can use to help you get better at your language is escríbeselo. We talked about this when we talked about accents, right? Escríbeselo. Now, if you put it in a sentence, like if you're asking someone formally, right? You can say, ¿se lo puede escribir, por favor? Can you write it down, please? But if you're talking with like a friend or a colleague or something you're on par with, you say, ¿se lo puedes escribir? So the difference is the puede versus puedes. Okay? We also have repítemelo, repítemelo, repeat it to me. And then me lo puedes repetir, or me lo puede repetir. Okay, can you repeat it? Now we learned about the word donde in our previous video, right? Donde means where. So we had ¿dónde está el aeropuerto? Where is the airport? ¿Dónde está la tienda? Where's the store? Now if you want to ask how do I get to somewhere, right? So you know la tienda está en la calle 7. The store is on 7th Street, right? But ¿cómo llego a la tienda? How do I get to the store? Then that's when people will give you directions like das la vuelta, turn around, sigues derecho, go straight, y allá está. And there it is, right? So you can say como llego a la tienda, como llego al aeropuerto. Okay, that's how you say, how do I get somewhere? Y con eso, gracias por acompañarme en este viaje de aprendizaje. Chao.